All right. Hey, I wasn't expecting that at the end. That's actually pretty cool. I wonder what the. Gosh, how do they. Wanderlings. It seems like you're going to control them somehow. So I'm kind of curious as to how things are going to work. Some other things um, that I noticed throughout this thing Clorind looks really cool. My main problem with Ayato is the fact that like he's just an immobile turret and I don't like that, but she is able to continually dash around and you kind of have to for her kit to make it actually worthwhile. So that's actually really cool. Siegeween, I just don't care about. Nothing about her is appealing whatsoever. Um, I just I feel like she's filling a niche that Zhongli already covers by having a nice big shield. So I'm really not going to care about her at all. Sethos 4 stars are generally terrible, so you can never expect them to be good. And we already have the the best electro unit in the game is still Fischl. Not really, but I mean, I, anyone who's playing Genshin understands what I'm saying there. The Imaginary, that's the other thing. I thought it was absolutely stupid that the new Archon quest is just called Bedtime Story. Like, I just feel like you could have come up with something more imaginative than that. So it's kind of a lame reveal. This animation was beautiful, and I wonder, like, I just hope that they weren't spending time on this, and instead they were focusing on the anime that they've been trying to build. It could be that it's two different studios, but I don't think so. But it's clear in this animation that they're trying to show that the two brother and sister are separated from each other. And I guess this will trigger a lot of people, but it's going to be canon that Lumine is the bad one, and then the traveler that we take part of, is the male. I personally use Lumine. I like Lumine a lot better. But in this one, she's always with Dainsleif, whereas he's always with Paimon, and her being like Dainsleif, I'm gonna be kind of irritated if Dainsleif has always known and been with the other sibling, and yet he's been helping us, you know, quote helping us this whole time. That'll be kind of frustrating if that's the way it's been. Um, to be honest, it'll kind of piss me off. Um, and then the Imaginarium Theater looks awesome. The only thing that disappoints me is the fact that it rotates. Like, if you're afraid of giving out too many Primo gems, that's fine. Cut the Primo gems in half and then have both of them release. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, I don't think you're gonna ruin the game's economy by giving double rewards of like gold or EXP books, but making them alternate really pisses me off. Everyone's clamoring for more endgame stuff, more things to do with their characters to fight with, and you just took one of them out of the game. And like, if you give me a dumb excuse, and this is a really dumb excuse, like, don't let anyone tell you that this isn't a dumb excuse. If you give me a dumb excuse, like, we don't want our travelers to be overworked or feel like there's too much to do, I'm sorry. It's terrible, terrible reason. Don't ever do that. Should never apologize for having too much content. And if you have people leaving the game because there's just too many things to do, that's a whole lot better than people leaving the game because there's nothing to do. And right now you're on one end of the spectrum. You gotta. I'm kind of irritated about it. Okay. Otherwise the game mode looks really cool. The other stuff, the first two looked kind of cool. In terms of events that are coming, this one, it's kind of okay. I'm not too hype about this one, but I like the other one that came afterwards. this combat one. But let me see. Hopefully this, I want to see this picture right here. If it shows me. It's not going to show me. Here, let me play it for a second.
I'm guessing that this one is going to test some different...
The environment on a...
Okay, this right here. You should have 20 stages here, okay? It shouldn't be hard enough for you to come up with 20 conditions for various things, okay? There should be like 20 stages here, and it should last 3 weeks, and anyone can come in and do, and they should be all open right at the beginning, not later on down the line, you know, the whole thing. And, you know, I bet, you know, by looking at this here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I bet there's 8. That's my guess. Which is disappointing. You know, recently they had like the Haru's Adventure minigame. I can't remember, that came out with Penacony 2.2. And, you know, all you do is you sit there and you fire bullets. A very simple thing. But since they knew it was a simple thing, they gave you like 15, 20 levels for it. And then like a challenge mode on top of that. Like, you have so... There's so little work to be done for something like that. Why not do it? You know, this is the bare bone, like the bone structure of the event is this. This is the hard part that's already done. Okay? The all you have to do is come up with 12 different, you know, types of reactions, or, you know, something different. You know, we have swelling thermal vortex, so this one's got to be a Nemo and fire. Concentrated cleaving collapse. This one probably has to do with Geo. You have hydro and electro. You have fire and electro. Water and frost. You know, you could do things like, you know, there's, I don't know what the other two are going to be. You could do hyper bloom ones. You could do okay, they have to be burning, you know, for you to get credit. They have to be killed by a what do you call it? They have to be killed by a plunging attack, normal attacks. You know, there's all kinds of variations that you can do, and 8 isn't enough. I don't know. Yeah, they can do more. This event is garbage. The Dino Blaster. It's just, it's a mobile game essentially. Like, this is one of those events where you can tell that they're focused too much on the mobile platform. This one though looks pretty awesome. The dodging one, I think that one looks awesome. And then I don't personally care about TCG, but there's nothing wrong with adding more to it, just as long as they're not spending too much time into TCG. Because if they're going to spend a lot of time into TCG, they might as well just spin it off into its own game, kind of like the way Gwent did with Witcher 3. So, otherwise, hey, I'm pretty happy with this event. You know, this past one we got Arlecchino, and we got a whole new region to discover, but it was mostly underwater, so that kind of sucked. It's hard to be worse than patch 4.5, which was awful. But, you know, this one actually looks... you're not getting a new area to explore, which is, I think, a huge down, like a huge bummer. And you know, if I were to take a guess, there's going to be 4.8. Probably is going to be like it's going to be like a kind of a dead patch. So until 5.0 comes out. So we'll see what happens. Maybe this one goes straight into 5.0, but I kind of doubt it. I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll see what happens. But otherwise, I think that the update's kind of okay. Let's give it like a 7, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. The reason why it doesn't get more is because the Imaginarium Theater being, you know, adding new end-game content, but then also taking away end-game content. It's like, well, what's the point? So, all right. Well, that was pretty cool. For everyone on YouTube out there, I'll catch y'all later. Niptorka out. See ya.